Hello and welcome to another edition of Stockwatch. As we end the week, we're hearing a few whispers throughout the trading week that a lot of the CEOs in the big banks of America are wanting their staff to fully return to the office by the end of the year. So this comes after a press conference where a few CEOs registered that, if you can go to a restaurant in New York, let's say, then you can certainly return to the office in New York. And this is obviously going to help the economy tenfold, whereas people going back to work are obviously ordering more lunches, let's say, ordering more breakfasts and coffees from different companies. So, it's all a case of a circulation of getting the economy back to where it was pre-pandemic. And the Zoom meeting philosophy is on the back burner now for a lot of CEOs. They want face-to-face meetings as well. So the other argument is that if they're getting paid New York salaries or London salaries or whatever city salaries, then you are having to commute and go into the office to earn that salary as well. So a big statement from a few CEOs, and as I said, getting the cities back working again. However, it's a bit of a contrast to the UK government, as yesterday there was little talk about even after the pandemic that working from home will be the norm for a few companies, and also wearing face masks as well will probably continue. However, ministers were quick to quash these rumours to say that it would be up to the firms in general whether they want to have a full 100% capacity of staff back. But you have to think that it might be a bit of a war with a few companies, because a lot of people might prefer to work from home. It's obviously saving money on their commute and saving time in their lives to commute to work and back. And if some companies are doing it and some companies are not, then there could be a bit of friction between certain companies in this space. So we'll have to wait and see how that develops and how it pans out, because it's a very interesting story going forward, into 2022, when most of the population should be fully vaccinated by then. So we'll see what happens. So let's just take a quick look on Goldman Sachs first of all. And, I'm keeping an eye on this hummingbird traction that we've been seeing throughout the course of the last few months from the beginning of the year. So we missed this next touch on the upside trend line, and now we're going into a downward spiral slightly. So, I'm just looking on this Ichimoku cloud here. If we start penetrating and entering the cloud and then falling to the lower border, I had my targets for the previous support and resistance, the previous peaks that we had. Obviously, the next one we're looking at the moment is this previous peak here. If we put it on the trend line, we're looking to see us puncture that. If we do, then I'm expecting to put in a sell position down to roughly about the $310 zone, which would be quite a nice test for me to go down for another $30 or $40 to 270, 280 roughly. Let's just look on intraday as well. So not really much in the way of intraday. We've got this slight divergence on the RSI, which could propel prices higher, but we'll wait and see if that comes into fruition. As I said, a little bit of a turnaround on the banks, as they've obviously hit these record highs after the second wave of the pandemic. Hopefully we're not in a third wave of a pandemic, even though some economies have said that we're actually experiencing a third wave at the moment. So something to keep an eye on there. And for JP Morgan Chase as well, just bring it out to the daily. Again, just looking at this ascension, it's a little bit like Goldman Sachs, to be honest, with this hummingbird effect. And now the difference being is now we've actually fallen through the Ichimoku cloud. So I've already put a sell position in, and I'm expecting it to drop right down to roughly the lower regions of $140. So I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. We've got a bit of a bullish hidden divergence here on the RSI. We've got lower lows and higher highs here. So I'll be looking to see if we're going to see some sort of bounce in the next few trading sessions on the start of the week as we head into the the last week of Q2, which will be quite significant as well. So a few things to look out for, because a lot of investors are not just people, they're companies as well. So when they're dumping stock at the end of a quarter, you can see that evidently on the chart as well. So, as I say, intraday as well, we've fallen through the Ichimoku cloud. So I'll just be looking to see what the downside potentials are now, unless we see some sort of bounce back up to give me an indication. As I say, we've got this bullish divergence at the moment. So just something to look out for in the next few trading sessions. So that caps off the stock watch for the week. Thank you very much for joining me for the videos. If you have any comments or queries, please feel free to add them to the post, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day ahead, and bye for now.